I was glared at by a passenger right before boarding, so I took off my high heels, stirred them in the coffee non-stop, and handed the cup to her, but she sensed something was wrong, and splashed the hot coffee all over me, instantly burning my arm red. Yet I didn't dare say a word because she wasn't just anyone. She was the high and mighty Thai royal Lena, and Lena had even booked the entire plane for this trip. To avoid making her angry, I had no choice but to make another coffee and bring it over. But Lena looked completely unimpressed, and when she noticed the diamond ring on my finger, she got even angrier, because she was wearing the exact same one, so she told me to take mine off. Her demand made me feel helpless, but since she was royalty, I could only hand it over obediently. I didn't expect what happened next. She threw the ring on the floor, and crushed it under her golden heel. My dignity shattered instantly, and in that moment, a seed of hatred took root in my heart. Soon it was noon. I kindly brought her a special meal, but she didn't show the slightest interest. Instead, she started making things difficult, saying she wanted to try my crew meal. I had no choice but to take her special meal back, and when I saw my crew meal was seafood noodles, my heart instantly lit up because I knew Lena had a severe seafood allergy, and I finally had the perfect chance to get back at her. So I picked out the seafood, but purposely left the noodles soaked in seafood broth, then thoughtfully served it to Lena. She didn't hesitate and started eating right away, without realizing she was heading for disaster. Not long after, loud coughing came from the cabin. She was having an allergic reaction. I pretended to be kind and offered her a glass of water, but Lena suddenly stood up and ran toward the restroom in panic, while I secretly felt satisfied. I suddenly noticed a few photos on her seat. They were pictures of me on a date with the prince. In that moment, I understood everything. Lena had been targeting me because she already knew about my relationship with the prince. Terrified, I stood up to leave. But the next second, I ran right into Lena coming out of the restroom. Seeing her bloodshot eyes, I panicked and rushed back to the crew room. Thankfully, once the plane landed, I finally got Lena off the aircraft. But what I didn't expect was waking up the next morning for the return flight and seeing the news that Lena had died from a seafood allergy. What terrified me even more was hearing she had instructed before dying that I be the one to escort her body home. Since she was a royal member, the captain didn't dare refuse and assigned the duty to me. But when I saw the body wrapped in white cloth, an uneasiness filled my heart. The captain had to return to the cockpit to fly, leaving me alone with the cold corpse. What I didn't expect was that when the plane hit strong turbulence during takeoff, Lena's body suddenly fell out of the seat. I only set a doll next to my daughter, but less than a minute later, red marks suddenly showed up around her neck like something was choking her. Seeing that, Grandma threw the doll on the floor in anger, but she had no idea that our whole family was about to face a disaster, because this doll we bought from a street stall wasn't normal. There's an evil spirit living inside her. 5 years went by. My daughter had grown into a big girl. Everyone had forgotten that creepy doll in the cabinet, but that day one of her marbles suddenly rolled into the storage room, and that's how my daughter brought the doll out again. But the strange thing was, 5 years ago the doll's hair was short. Now it had grown long. Even its nails had grown longer. Seeing my daughter play so happily, I didn't think too much about it. But after that, she carried the doll around every day. But that night when we went to sleep, a figure slowly walked into the room and slipped right under my blanket. When I turned on the light to check, I nearly jumped out of my skin. After that, I started to feel something was wrong with the doll. To keep it from scaring me again, while my daughter was at school, I stuffed the doll into a trash bag and tossed it downstairs without hesitation. I thought that would be the end of it, but right when I got home, there was a knock at the door. I walked over confused and saw the doll was back again. I was furious when I saw it, but after I was exhausted, I saw the doll sitting on my daughter's bed. That's when I realized I had been hitting my own daughter just now. I froze in terror. Luckily, it was only a nightmare, but the next second that same knocking came again. I opened the door to check, and the doll was really back at the door. Turned out I didn't sort the trash properly, so the sanitation workers returned it. When I saw them still dealing with the trash, I ran over and handed the doll to them. I thought this time it wouldn't come back, but less than 10 minutes later, a loud siren came from downstairs. I knew something was wrong. When I ran out to check, I saw the garbage truck had malfunctioned and trapped one worker's leg inside. While I was too scared to look up, my daughter walked out from behind the curtain holding the doll. Looks like I can never get rid of this evil doll. The next day, my daughter begged me to play hide and seek. I had no choice. I walked around the house impatiently looking for her. When I reached the laundry room, I saw a pair of tiny hands on top of the washing machine.